Hello everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to have you here today. We're going to explore how honest, empathetic dialogue can truly transform teams and the cultures they build. The title of our presentation is The Power of Constructive Feedback in Shaping Team Culture. Over the next slides, we'll look at how open communication and genuine feedback can foster stronger, more positive environments. So let's get started. Let's explore what really drives a strong feedback culture. Trust, clarity, accountability, and continuous growth are at the heart of it all. And the key to cultivating these qualities is through regular, meaningful dialogue. When we prioritize open conversations, we create an environment where everyone feels supported and motivated to improve. Now, what does this kind of culture lead to? It builds a space where employees feel genuinely empowered, challenged in a healthy way, and supported in their development. It's about fostering a sense of safety and encouragement so people can thrive. It's important to recognize that feedback isn't just about performance management. It shapes how we relate to each other, how we communicate, and how we grow, not just at work, but as individuals. When we view feedback as a continuous, meaningful dialogue, it becomes a cornerstone of our organizational culture and a catalyst for ongoing improvement. Trust isn't something you can build with a single conversation or just once a year. Instead, it's developed through consistent, meaningful interactions that show your team members you truly see, hear, and invest in them. When you make a habit of engaging regularly, it reinforces that trust and support. Research shows that employees who receive weekly feedback are 56% more likely to feel supported compared to those who only get annual reviews. That's a huge difference, and it highlights how important consistency is in building confidence and trust. Remember, trust really is the foundation of strong teams. When team members feel supported and valued through ongoing, genuine interactions, they're more engaged, more committed, and more likely to perform at their best. So, consistency isn't just a nice-to-have, it's essential for creating a healthy, trusting work environment. When people know exactly what's expected of them and how they can improve, it becomes much easier to align their daily efforts with the broader goals of the team and the organization. This alignment transforms individual work into a collective impact that drives real results. Now, how do we make sure everyone has that clarity? One effective way is by providing clear, actionable improvement steps. When feedback is specific and achievable, people know what to focus on and how to grow. Looking at the data, we see that with quarterly feedback, about 11% of people report receiving clear, actionable steps. When feedback happens monthly, that number jumps to 29%. And with weekly feedback, over half, 53%, say they get the guidance they need to improve. This clearly shows that more frequent feedback fuels greater clarity. And that clarity is crucial because it directly fuels commitment and engagement. When people understand what they need to do and see how it connects to the bigger picture, they become more motivated and involved. So, fostering regular, clear communication isn't just about feedback. It's about empowering everyone to contribute more effectively towards shared success. When we talk about what effective feedback looks like, there are a few key qualities to keep in mind. First, it should be specific, meaning it's tied directly to real behaviors and outcomes. Instead of general comments, it focuses on concrete actions and results that can be observed and measured. Second, it should be example-driven, grounded in observable moments. This helps make the feedback clear and relatable, so the person receiving it can understand exactly what to work on. Third, it needs to be supportive, paired with resources and clear next steps. This encourages growth and helps individuals know how to improve moving forward. Now, looking at the data, when people receive weekly feedback, they often say that their gaps are consistently addressed. In fact, over half of employees, 53%, believe that feedback helps close skill gaps. And when skill gaps are addressed effectively, accountability tends to grow. So, providing specific, example-driven, and supportive feedback really makes a difference in both development and accountability within teams. Let's talk about direct feedback. It's important to remember that it should always be honest, respectful, and clear. That means being straightforward but not harsh or blunt. When leaders are trained to model this kind of communication, it really opens the door to more genuine two-way conversations. This, in turn, fosters a culture of openness within the organization. Now, did you know that 39% of employees consider directness the most important quality in giving feedback? That's a significant number. It highlights just how vital clear and straightforward communication is for effective feedback. By focusing on directness, we enable healthy dialogue. When feedback is transparent and respectful, it encourages trust and understanding. This is essential for building strong, productive relationships and creating an environment where everyone feels comfortable sharing their thoughts. So, in the bigger picture, cultivating directness in feedback isn't just about being honest. It's about creating a positive cycle of open communication that benefits everyone. Supportive feedback is really powerful because it helps us stay focused, build strong connections with our colleagues, and navigate the uncertainties we often face at work with more confidence. When feedback is clear and given regularly, it removes a lot of the guesswork and ambiguity that can cause stress. In fact, one of the biggest sources of stress at work is uncertainty, and consistent, transparent feedback acts as a buffer against that. It's important to recognize that many employees, about 96%, report experiencing ongoing stress in the workplace. That's a huge number, and it highlights just how vital it is to create an environment where feedback is a regular part of the conversation. By making feedback a regular practice, we're not just helping individuals improve, we're also helping the entire team become more resilient. When people know what's expected, understand their progress, and feel supported, they're better equipped to handle challenges and uncertainties with confidence. So, fostering this kind of feedback culture truly makes a difference in reducing stress and strengthening resilience across the organization. Psychological safety is actually the #1 predictor of high-performing teams. When team members feel safe to share ideas, admit mistakes, and give honest feedback, the whole team benefits. And the key to building that safety, it's daily practice, feedback. A feedback culture doesn't just happen by chance. It's intentionally modeled from the top. Leaders who regularly ask for feedback, as often as they give it, send a clear message that growth is a shared responsibility. So, as leaders, we set the tone. We create an environment where feedback is welcomed and seen as a tool for improvement, not criticism. Building this culture is essential for unlocking the full potential of our teams. Remember, leadership plays a crucial role in shaping how feedback flows and how safe people feel. When we lead by example, we foster the psychological safety that's so vital for high performance. Let's explore the 5 ways to create a constructive feedback culture. First, it's important to position feedback as a gift for growth, not as a warning sign or punishment. When we see feedback this way, it encourages openness and continuous improvement. Next, reframing the narrative around feedback helps us see it as an opportunity rather than a threat. Third, we should use tools and open channels that make giving and receiving feedback easy, accessible, and ongoing. This ensures feedback becomes a natural part of our daily work. Fourth, creating conditions where speaking up feels safe is crucial. When team members feel secure, they're more likely to share honest insights without fearing repercussions. Fifth, we need to equip our leaders with the skills to deliver clear, actionable, and empathetic feedback confidently. This builds trust and ensures feedback is constructive. Lastly, moving beyond just annual reviews is essential. Integrating feedback into weekly rhythms and team rituals makes it a regular, embedded practice. All of these steps come together in our action framework to foster a feedback culture that supports growth, trust, and continuous development. Make feedback frequent, direct, and supportive. These are the core elements that can really transform your organization. When feedback becomes a regular part of your culture, it feels natural and helpful rather than intimidating or rare. And remember, embedding this as a shared value across your organization means everyone understands its importance and commits to it. Start today. Don't wait for formal reviews or scheduled meetings. The most powerful cultures are those that build trust through everyday conversations. These informal, ongoing exchanges create stronger relationships and a more resilient team. Make it a daily practice. This consistency helps turn feedback into a natural habit. Constructive feedback isn't just about fixing what's wrong. It's about growing and engaging your team, making your culture more resilient and high-performing. When feedback becomes routine, it shapes and refines your team culture over time. It's not just about individual improvement. It's about creating an environment where everyone feels valued and motivated to contribute their best. So remember, feedback is a powerful tool that shapes the future of your team's culture. When used thoughtfully and regularly, it transforms the way your teams work together, innovate, and succeed.